it can also be distracting to be around so many people. And there is such a big program that you have very little time to go to bed. And hello everyone, my name is Fleur. I'm so excited you're here. On my channel, I talk all about law of attraction, manifesting, life lessons, and in general knowledge to help you become the best version of yourself. I have had so many people question me whether they really need to go to a Dr. Joe Dispenza retreat or event to have that breakthrough, to finally understand how the breath really works, or to create that new reality, to create that relationship, that abundance, that material thing that you so very much desire. And I'm so excited to talk about my personal experience of going to Dr. Joe Dispenza retreats and see what the pros and cons are of going and whether it is really worth it for manifesting your new life or creating that desire that you so very much want. So let's talk about all the things that I absolutely loved from going to the Dr. Joe Dispenza events. And one of the first things that stand out to me is being able to meditate with so many people. It is a fascinating experience and something that I had personally never experienced before. And I think many people going to the retreats for the first time have never felt before, because every single person in that room is contributing energy and love to an energetic field that is being formed in that room. And what you feel is over the days of being at the retreat, you can feel that energy field becoming so much stronger. And something else that happens when you're meditating in a group is if someone next to you is going into heart coherence, they're also influencing your field because you're sitting around a lot of other people. And we, of course, have an energy field around us. And so if someone next to you goes into heart coherence, the likelihood of you going into heart coherence is very big. So meditating in a group of people is really profound because everybody's affecting each other. And that really elevates the energy. So when I went to a retreat for the first time ever, that was such a beautiful, profound experience because I had never had that feeling before doing my own practice. Something else that I've noticed from going to retreats is that you're being taken out of your familiar environment immediately. So you go to a place where you have no synapses, you have no memories there, you don't have familiar emotions there. And that makes it a lot easier to connect to the feelings of your future, to connect to the emotions of what you want to feel like when your desires are manifested, when you have that relationship, when you have that business. And this is so extremely helpful because if you think about it, your personal environment is constantly affirming familiar emotions. So when you wake up in the morning, you think about your life, and you see your room, you see your bedroom, you go to the bathroom, you create your breakfast, how you do it every single morning in the same way. And that gives you familiar emotions. A fun example I have for this is a few years ago, I really wanted to manifest perfect skin. I just want a perfect skin. But what I did, instead of feeling the emotions of having perfect skin, feeling so happy, feeling so joyful, feeling so grateful for having beautiful, perfect skin every single morning, I woke up, I walked to the bathroom and checked if I had perfect skin already. And that made me go into the feelings of lack of not having perfect skin. So instead of going to the new future, the new self of having perfect skin, I was reaffirming the lack of not having that desire yet. And this goes for anything that you have in your personal life. And for example, if you're living in a life where you do not have your dream job yet, you're constantly thinking about, I don't have the dream job. I need to go to this job that I don't like. And instead of being in the feelings of what it feels like to have that dream job, your personal environment is keeping you stuck in the emotions of your old reality. And that is something that I've noticed, that whenever you go to a retreat, you are taken away from your personal environment, and it is so much easier to create new beliefs, new habits, new thought patterns, because you do not have anything that is keeping you familiar to your old life there. And that is why sometimes it can be very beneficial to take yourself away from your normal environment and to create your future in a different place, because you're not being drawn back to your old beliefs, which are all so very much present in your normal life. But something that I've noticed is going to a Dr. Joe Dispenza retreat and being in such a different environment and feeling so inspired is one thing. But going home and changing those thoughts, beliefs, and patterns and emotions in your familiar environment is so much more important for creating your reality. Because it is in your familiar environment where you're going to make so much progress and changing your emotions and creating that new life. Essentially, how I look at the retreats from Dr. Joe Dispenza is they are a big bonus, and they really help you to feel so inspired, and they help you to create new synapses and become familiar with that future self. But it's not necessarily the reason why you're going to have that breakthrough or why you're going to create that opportunity or that new reality. It's all about when you get back home and you take that person with you from the retreat into your life. Because when you go home and you are doing the meditations and you have your body be asleep and your mind stay awake, you are touching neuroplasticity and you're rewiring your brain for the feelings of the future, for that desire that you want to create, connecting to love if you want to manifest a relationship, or connecting to abundance if you want to feel more rich in life and if you want to become more rich in life. And that's when you're going to progressively create more opportunities and create the new reality that you want to live in. And something else that I really enjoyed about meditating for so many hours was the feeling of understanding that we're actually more energy than matter. We're all energy attracting matter into our lives, attracting people, experiences, opportunity in accordance with the energy field that we have, with the vibrations that we put out. And that is something that I feel like you start understanding when you focus less on your body and more on the field in your meditations. You start to understand that we're actually all creating by the energy that we put towards certain fields in our life. Like if we're constantly thinking and focusing about an aspect in our life, we're going to see more of that in your life. And a quote that I absolutely love is, "Matter is not creating the field, but the field is creating matter." And this quote actually reminds me of something that happened to me this morning. So yesterday, I saw a video of a girl watching a gorgeous sunset. And I was like, I actually really love that. I want to see a beautiful sunset as well. But without further thinking about it, I was just going about my day. I went to bed, and this morning, my dog woke me up at the crack of dawn, and she wanted to go outside. And so I take her outside and see the most beautiful sunrise I've seen in months. And that is how fun creation works. And the funny thing is, my dog never wakes me up. And so last but not least, meeting so many people in the community is absolutely heartwarming and a really beautiful experience, because you get to talk to so many people who are also creating new things in their life, or creating health, or creating opportunities, abundance, a specific experience in their life. And that is something very beautiful and almost undescribable. It is really beautiful to be able to connect to people that are also in the work and are telling you about their process, and people talking about real life stories that happen to them is so inspiring. It is something that really keeps you wanting to do the work every single day. So not only is going to a retreat an absolute bonus to doing the work because it's amplifying your creation, but it's also giving you a big community of people that you can talk to and people that you can have as support around you in doing the work. And that is something that I've really loved gaining from going to the retreats. So overall, if I think about going to the Dr. Joe Dispenza retreats, I think it is an absolutely fascinating experience, and I wish for everyone to have that experience. But at the same time, I've also had very profound experiences and meditations by doing my meditations at home, because it can also be distracting to be around so many people, and there's a lot of lack of sleep because there's such a big program that you have very little time to go to bed. And I don't think that you necessarily need to go to a retreat in order to create a new reality or create change in your life or have that opportunity materialize in your life. I think that it is a very big bonus to doing the work, and you gain community and you gain experience and you feel what it feels like to be meditating in a group of people and feel that energy rising in that group. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm really curious to know, have you ever been to a Dr. Joe Dispenza retreat, and what was your experience like? Leave a comment down below. I would love to hear. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.